Welcome, makeup loving friends. Today we are going to be talking about all the new makeup releases here in Pay or Stay Away. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. Before I get started today, I just wanted to say thank you so much for stopping by, and if this is your first time to my channel, hello, my name is Emily, and we are going to be talking about all the new makeup releases for this week that stood out to me the most and whether or not I'm going to buy them or not. So because of Black Friday, which for me, from when I'm filming right now, was literally just yesterday, I feel like there wasn't that many releases that were actually announced. Now, we definitely got a lot of sales announced because of Black Friday and because of upcoming Cyber Monday, but I don't really feel like that many actual makeup products were announced, especially in the more mainstream brands. And on Trendmood, I didn't really see that much, so I decided to reach over to the indie brand side of things, just like I did last week. I don't know, things just haven't been calling to me in the mainstream brand realm lately. We do have a lot to talk about today, but I believe only one of the brands that I'm going to be talking about is actually a mainstream brand that's like sold at Sephora and whatnot. But I love indie brands, so I am 1000% okay with that, so let's jump right in. So the first new makeup release that I wanted to talk about today is the new Bombshell Cosmetica Candy Shop collection. This is an indie brand, and these palettes are available for pre-order now, and they retail for $49.99 each. Now, there are three different palettes in this little candy shop collection. There is the Sour Blast palette, the Caramelized palette, or Caramelized, however you say it, tomato, and finally the Oh Hubba Hubba palette. So this brand has actually caught my attention a couple times. Now, I really liked their collection that they did a while back that was the Honey collection. They came out with, I believe, a highlighter palette and some eyelashes, and I believe this brand used to just sell eyelashes. I believe they were Bombshell eyelashes, and then they transitioned over into actually selling cosmetics, and so far I have been so intrigued by every single thing they've come out with cosmetics wise. They also released the Candy Licious palette a while back, and that drew my attention like no other. I almost purchased it, but then I talked myself out of it because I had some of the colors. But I'm extremely intrigued by this collection. Now, their packaging is like on point. I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. All the packaging is like candy themed. The Oh Hubba Hubba palette is supposed to look like bubblegum and represent bubblegum. The Sour Blast palette is supposed to look kind of like sour gummy worms, and it even has the same lettering as a bag of sour gummy worms has. And the Caramelized palette is supposed to look like, I believe it's 100 grand or 1,000 grand. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a specific kind of candy bar, and it's supposed to look like those candies. I think their packaging is so cute, and I have to say the inside of the eyeshadow palettes do not disappoint. A lot of times brands will come out with really, really cute packaging, and then you open up the palette and it's like, that's it? Where's the fun? Where's the color? Where's the uniqueness? But I feel like Bombshell Cosmetica really brought that here. I love each and every one of these palettes. I think that my favorite would have to be the Sour Gummy Worm one. What is that called? The Sour Blast palette. I think the Sour Blast palette would be my favorite just because it has some more pinks in it and it has some more brighter colors. And the other two palettes have kind of some neutrals mixed with some pops of colors, but I think that these all look freaking fantastic. And I'm definitely interested in buying one. I'm trying to be good with my money, as I always say, but I think these are really pretty and I'm gonna eventually pick one up. I'm just not really sure which one I want to pick up. As for the brand itself, I'm really excited to see where Bombshell Cosmetica goes because I think that so far all of their launches have been so exciting and such a breath of fresh air, and it's really hard to do that here in the beauty community because we have had a taste of everything, literally. We are spoiled brats because we have literally anything at our hands. We could purchase any type of eyeshadow if we wanted to. Yeah, we're spoiled here. I'm like praying to the Lord that there's no lipstick on my teeth right now. You always take a gamble when you go for a dark lip. Whenever I wear dark lips, I'm always like rubbing my teeth trying to make sure that there's no lipstick on my teeth, but somehow there always ends up being a little bit of lipstick hiding in the back somewhere. And somehow someone will always point it out to me. The next new makeup release is one that I am so freaking excited about because it's a brand that I absolutely adore, and this collection is top notch, let me tell you. So Clionadh Cosmetics has announced that they are coming out with their 66.5 Degrees North eyeshadow bundle. This is available now and it retails for $145 Canadian if you get the entire bundle, or $6 to $6.50 each if you just want to grab one or two shadows. So all of the shadows in this collection represent Canada for them and represent where they live in Canada. And if you don't know, Clionadh is from Canada, that's why everything is in the Canadian currency, but the girls do live there. And I think this collection is so freaking cute, and I think they did a great job representing each and every one of their themes that they were trying to go for. I think they represented the winter theme really, really well. They have shades like Aurora and Snowdrift and Alpine and just things that really represent the way that they live and the area that they live in. And I think this is the perfect time to come out with this collection because in the US and in Canada, it is almost winter. So I don't think they could have done a better winter collection. I think all of these shadows are absolutely beautiful beautiful, and we have so many gorgeous duochromes in this collection, and we have a lot of unique colored mattes that can be a little bit harder to find on the market. Now, my personal favorites from this collection are the shades Snowdrift, which is a light aqua with a pink red reflect, and it has pink sparkles running throughout it. I also really like Iceberg, which is the mint blue with the gold shift, and I like Sublimate, which is the chartreuse matte, which is like a light kind of lime green matte shade, which is actually pretty hard to find if you think about it. I think all of the shades are gorgeous, and I'm definitely gonna pick up the three that I mentioned, probably more, but I think they're all beautiful, and I think that this collection is a definite hit. So the next new makeup release that I wanted to talk about today is also from an indie brand, and so was Clionadh, of course, but this is from omfg Cosmetics, and this is their new Pastel Palette. Now, we don't have a launch date and we don't have a price yet, and even though we don't have that information yet, it was definitely a palette that I was interested in enough to put in this series. So I think this palette is so freaking cute. I love the pastels, but I love that they're a little bit darker. If you look at the top row, we have that pink, the yellow, and the mint green, and they don't look too washed out. They look like they're still going to be very pigmented, and they almost look like they're a little bit more on the neon side, which I personally really like, because a lot of times pastels work for really, really pale people to like light medium skin tones, and then once you're at the medium to deep or deep dark skin tone range, pastels may not really work on you because they might look a little bit washed out, or they might just not show up on your skin, which I think is totally unfair, and I think that there should be pastels out there for people with deeper skin as well. If you actually look at this palette, the mattes are a little bit deeper in tone, and I do appreciate that because I feel like not only is it going to show up a little bit better on fair skin, but it's definitely going to show up on deeper skin as well. It looks like half of this palette contains mattes and the other half is just a bunch of pastel shimmers, and I feel like they just chose these colors beautifully. I feel like it just represents pastel. Honestly, we don't have the name of this palette yet, but I would call it the Marshmallow palette because it just reminds me of like Lucky Charms and marshmallows and just all things sweet and delicious that are light and airy, and I think it's so cute. I think this would be really pretty for like an Easter palette. I mean, it's not even close to Easter, but I don't know, it just reminds me of Easter, but I think this is adorable. I'm gonna be purchasing it for sure because I don't have a lot of pastels in my collection, and the pastels that I do have, I freaking adore. So yeah, this guy will be mine for sure. So jumping right on into the next new makeup release, we have the only makeup release that I wanted to talk about today that is basically a mainstream brand that's like sold in Ulta, and I think they're still sold in Sephora. Not 100% sure. Maybe they got booted out of Sephora. I don't know, but this is the ColourPop Super Shock Vault Holiday 2018 collection. This baby will be available on November 26th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it retails for a whopping $99 for 25 Super Shock shadows. Now, I do have to admit, some of these shadows look really interesting, and they look to be a little bit different than we typically see with Super Shock shadows. As you can see, we have some really interesting pressed pans. We have some smiley face pressed pans, a lightning bolt one, ones with stars in them, ones with lips on them, and then we have these split pan ones, which I think are really interesting. I'm not sure if they're separated by a little metal divider or if they're literally just the two products that are like plopped next to each other. I would think they would put a metal divider in there to prevent like everything mixing and whatnot, but really who knows. But in my opinion, some of these colors are super beautiful and they look really unique and fun, and I've never seen ColourPop press an actual design into the pan itself and do split pan. I really like that. I'm always wanting brands to do split pans, and I would love to get my hands on some of these shades, but it looks like as of right now, this is just going to be a full collection. If you want to purchase this, if you want one or two out of the entire 25, you have to spend 99 bucks to get all of them to get the ones that you want, which I think is so dumb. I'm so tired of vault collections. Not every person can go out and spend 99 bucks just point blank right then and there to get 25 Super Shock shadows or just a large quantity of makeup in general, because not everyone wants that much makeup. Some people like to use up their makeup, and a lot of people like to do panning and whatnot, and they don't want a whole bunch of new makeup to add to their collection. And 99 bucks for 25 shadows doesn't seem like a lot, but when you break it down, that's a lot of money to spend at one time. Like, not everyone wants to go out and spend 99 bucks just right then and there for makeup. So I am like really praying to the makeup gods here and hoping that ColourPop comes out with just single versions of these, or even like a little kit that they come out with every now and then with 5 or 6 eyeshadows for 25 bucks. I think that would be a much better approach because you're gonna reach a way wider audience and you're gonna be able to cater to people who don't have the money to drop 99 bucks. I don't care what it is. You can give me a kit with 6 of these for 25 bucks. I would gladly buy that, but Lord knows I am not going to be spending $99 on ColourPop single shock shadows. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Colourpop can take my 99 bucks out of my cold, dead hands. And lastly, on the new makeup releases, this one's kind of funny to me. We have the Too Faced Glow Job Glitter Radiance Boosting Face Mask. This is a new one for them. This is coming soon. We don't have a launch date yet, and it will be retailing for $42. Really? Really, we're still doing this Too Faced? We're still making glow job masks, really? We're still making sparkle glitter masks? I thought they would have taken a note from Glam Glow when they came out with the sparkle masks for the My Little Pony collection, that we didn't really want anything like this to begin with. Now, Too Faced came out with the glow job mask about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and people were not having it. I mean, that's not to be said that some people didn't like it. I'm sure some people loved it, but the masks that I watched and the majority of people that I talked to and heard talking about it were like, no, we don't want that at all. Putting sparkles on your face is bad for you. It's not gonna do any kind of benefits for your face. And you're spending 42 bucks on a face mask that's actually going to do more harm than good. So I think the feedback was more negative than positive, although I'm sure there was some positive reviews. So I'm just really confused why they would come out with this again. Glam Glow learned their lesson. You know, those Glam Glow masks that had the sparkles in them, those got marked down to like 20 bucks, and Glam Glow is pretty expensive, and those got marked down really, really low on the Sephora website. So obviously they weren't selling. So why would they do this again? I don't know. Obviously there's someone out there buying them, and if you like them, good for you, dude. That's awesome. But for me, I'm not spending my 42 bucks on that. No way. So it looks like the indie brands have won this round of Pay or Stay Away yet again. Every time I include indie brands, I always end up just ranting and raving about them, and then I talk about the mainstream brands and I'm like, meh, maybe it's okay. Or I just say, no, hell no. I'm just a sucker for indie brands, and we all know that. But that is everything that I had to talk about here in Pay or Stay Away for this week. And as per usual, let me know down in the comments, what are you gonna be picking up? What did you get for Black Friday? Because I got so much stuff. Expect a haul and expect a lot of new videos on new makeup products, because I went freaking crazy on buying things for Black Friday. Probably shouldn't have, but you know, the deed has been done. But with that being said, that's going to be wrapping up this week's Pay or Stay Away. I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I do Pay or Stay Away every single Monday, and during the rest of the week, I got all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel, so we got you covered. If you want to watch some new content, go ahead and subscribe down below. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and if you want to know when I am posting, go ahead and ring that notification bell as well. But I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!